The term word superiority effect was first coined by Cattell in 1886, and Rachel later proved this by conducting experiments. Basically, word superiority effect refers to our tendency to recognize letters faster when they're in words. When letters are alone or in a random order, we don't recognize them as quickly and don't remember them as well.
In order to conduct this experiment, we all had to go about the same procedure. We each selected 2 participants and conducted 3 trials on each of them. The participant was asked to recall what they saw when shown an arrangement of letters, followed by a screen of random symbols to distract their train of thought. The first trial we showed the participant was a 7-letter word. We predicted that this would be the easiest for the participant to remember. The second trial, the participant was shown 7 random letters, and on the third trial, the participant was shown 1 4-letter word and random letters to remember. The sequences were flashed to the participant for 30 seconds, and then each of us asked the participants to recall what they saw. The experiment was done at different times on the participants so that they did not influence one another. Once the experiment was done, we shared our data, that is, how many letters the participant was able to recall from the sequences, to compare with our group members' data collection.
Our predictions for each trial are that all participants would correctly identify the first trial containing the 7-letter word. Very minimal participants would correctly identify the 7 random letters, and approximately 50% of participants would correctly identify the 7 letters that had a 4-letter word inside of them.
Switch. Okay, what were the 7 letters?
Protest.
Okay, go ahead and go to the next slide. Switch. Okay, what were the 7 letters?
CZQPFXR.
Okay, switch. Okay, switch. Okay, what were the 7 letters?
XSOURVP.
Okay.
All of my participants got all of the letters correct on the very first trial with the whole word. For the second trial, both of my participants got the least amount correct. It was 4 and 5. And then in the third trial, they got a mid amount correct of 5 and 6. And that was with a word in the middle and then 2 spare letters on the side. So that does confirm our hypothesis about the word superiority effect. And just confirms that people did do better when there was a solid word instead of just individual letters inside the sequence.
In regards to neurophysical characteristics, the main source of activity for the word superiority effect is within the visual word form area located in the left fusiform gyrus. This region, in general, is responsible for letter and word recognition and processing, along with the surrounding cortex. The main model used to explain this processing is the interactive activation model, which theorizes that once confronted with a stimulus, feature detectors stimulate or inhibit other feature detectors, which then do the same to word detectors, resulting in cognition of a word. The strength and speed of this process is determined by word familiarity, so the more familiar or recognizable a word is, the faster the processing and encoding. This process, however, does not take attention into account simply because the word superiority effects usually works in an instant. You actually don't really need to be looking at the word for very long in order for it to take effect.
The word superiority effect has real-world implications in reading and in encoding. Dyslexic people have been shown to be worse at reading and in recognizing words in the word superiority effect. This can be useful to develop future investigative tools for reading acquisition. In a 1980 article published in the Canadian Journal of Psychology, researchers found that bilingual subjects did not experience the word superiority effect in their second language. This partially explains why people who read in their second language are slower than as opposed to when they read in their primary language.